One of our favorite shows, The Men in Blazers on NBCSN. Michael Davies, but the Stars, Roger Bennett, who joins us now. Roger, how are you?
Oh, Dan Patrick, it's a great day to live in your country. Fighters of freedom and democracy within the sport you love so much, soccer.
How are we viewed internationally?
In general, or just the past week, in which you have done in 7 days since the FBI, the Department of Justice, and probably most menacingly of all, let's be honest, the IRS, declared they were going to take down FIFA. 7 days later, Sepp Blatter resigned. In England, we've been trying to take Sepp Blatter down for about 20 years. It took you 7 days. I said this morning that this is possibly, from a soft power perspective, Dan, this is your greatest gift to the continent of Europe since MTV Europe launched. Massive.
You know what this is, Roger? This is our payback to Great Britain for the Beatles.
It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. Let me put it in an American context for you, Dan. Imagine your feelings when you watch Nixon resign, and then add them to the feelings you experienced when you heard that Piers Morgan had been fired. I think the combination of both of those two things gives you a feeling pretty much about how Europe feels. Loretta Lynch, your Attorney General. I'm looking at the newspaper headlines. The Argentine newspaper La Nación, which I know Paulie Paps subscribes to, they call her a relentless attorney. In Paris, Le Figaro call her the woman who is rocking FIFA. But in Germany, the country we respect and fear so much together, Dan, they simply call her Loretta Lynch, FIFA Jagerin, FIFA Hunter. That's it, America, FIFA Jagerin. It's magic.
Is this a crime story or a soccer story?
Well, I think it's best of both. I mean, I love a bit of Le Carré, and I love my football. And this is a complete and utter combination, which has taken sports reporters into kind of depths of jurisprudence, FBI process. I mean, way out of our depth. But it's global politics. When Putin is the first person after Sepp Blatter was re-voted in by FIFA for a fifth term, that he was the first person to phone Sepp Blatter and say, "Congratulations! I want to congratulate you on your quote professionalism." That's the most menacing backup that anybody could have. Vladimir Putin, again, the Russians were the first to speak when he resigned, talking about the enormous contribution, that was their words, as if he's a charitable leader Sepp Blatter had made to world sport. This is a man who just resigned in disgrace. I mean, there's the menace, geopolitical menace of Russia. There's the threat of the Qatar World Cup in 2022, a notion so ludicrous that it sounds like something that Bialystock and Bloom would have dreamt up in The Producers as a terrible, terrible idea. It's geopolitics plus sports, which is a frightening combination.
But are we being hypocritical? If the United States had gotten the World Cup, would we have brought down Sepp Blatter?
I don't believe you can talk about hypotheticals in history, Dan. I can't stand them. If the plot against Hitler had succeeded, would the war have ended earlier? We can never work these things out or debate these things to such an extent. If you're asking me whether I think the last week's work by the FBI, the DOJ, the IRS was politically motivated, I mean, your opinion as an American is probably more important than mine as a quasi-American. But I can tell you, as a human being and as a sports fan and as a sports reporter, I could not be more elated. History has proven, 20th century history, again, reinforced. America, Dan, you tend to show up a little late, but when you do arrive, victory ensues.
In the final 30 seconds, will the Men in Blazers miss Sepp Blatter?
I think he might end up working. There's a chance he's going to be a receptionist at Embassy Road. That's Michael's made in that offer. Michael Davis has made in that offer. I want to say that even though Sepp has resigned, he's staying on. He's staying on for one reason and one reason only, and that is to kingmate his successor.
Yes.
The fact that he's gone doesn't make this thing FIFA that most Americans only heard about for the first time last week any different. It's still a cesspool of poor corruption, racketeering. It makes Jack Nicholson's Chinatown seem like a force for good. So this is not an end. There's a possibility of a new beginning, but FIFA's still a fiefdom that needs new faces, transparency, checks, balances, accountability. It needs new leadership, outside leadership. And watch this race now as the individuals who voted Sepp Blatter back in on Friday now race to succeed him. I mean, that is a fascinating set of decisions. It's fascinating to watch these sponsors, Visa, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Budweiser, the big American sponsors who, I guess, had played as big a part in Sepp Blatter being pushed through the moon door as the Attorney General. Watching this dance between global politics, sports, and ultimately the multinational global corporations who speak the only language FIFA understand, which is money, that's going to be fascinating.
Thank you, Roger. Tell Michael we said hello.
Thanks, Dan. Great to speak to you. Cheers, Paulie Pabst.
That's Roger Bennett, one of the men in Blazers on NBCSN.